Meaning?
No. I think he just called. He put up a Facebook page. Actually, I don't want to read the entire post, but it's all still making fun of the situation. How suddenly everybody seemed to be captured in the report.
Yeah.
And I don't know why some particular people are targeted, but that is not for me to say.
But it's interesting in this case, which is which, because we don't have the supposed copy, but there are lots of snippets flying around. How do you know whether this snippet is even original?
The last time we went to after the NEC meeting when they engaged us, what we were told is that it is only the NEC of the party that has the document, and no other person has the documents. Whoever you are seeing from, know that it was not correct. It was not true.
There's actually a supposed Facebook page that is dropping snippets, and
are you sure it won't just turn out to be that some of that?
It's actually. Let me check and see.
You want to check and see? I know, don't check. It's fine. I'm just being the conspiracy theorist. That's all. But I don't know why we are always so eager. We want to know what is in the report. The people say their report is behind closed door. They have locked it. It's under lock and key. Chinchina, you want to know what is inside it. It is their defeat. It is their loss. They have decided to chart a particular path. Let them go on with it.
You're referring to the MPP's report.
Yes.
What do you want to see?
Are you on page 66 of the paper?
But what do you want to see?
If Helen makes it to page 66, I know people who will go and yank her off that page and warn her never to come here again.
I was listening to former Vice President Dr. Appiah-Ampofo yesterday, ahead of the NPP's thank you tour, and he says this one is for everybody who actually contested to be a part. Contested for flag bearership. It's open to all of them, and this one is organized by the party, so it's not an individual thank you tour.
Not at all.
So the hope for them is that those who did contest will come together at some point of the leg of the thank you tour and also be more visible. But Dr. Appiah says that there are people who didn't come out to vote. Over some 2.1 million NPP supporters didn't come out to vote, so that is why that election was lost. What else do you want to hear?
Which is also something we know. We know that the core membership of the NPP deserted the party at the polls. We know that. So, and it's the same thing that happened to the NDC in the previous election. So, I mean, if we want to be true to ourselves, we know what happened. But of course, it's understandable that within any political grouping, the intra-interests, the interest within the intra-groupings, it's even deadly, as I observe it. It's deadlier than the inter. So, might always watch the primaries. Whether it is NDC primaries or it is MPP primaries.
The clues are there.
The clues are there.
If you watch how the infighting is
looking, it is deadly. It's more dangerous than the NDC MPP fight. Look at the primaries. When they were going for the presidential primaries, the campaigns. See what we had between Kennedy Ejapong and his campaign and the campaign of Alaji.
Yeah.
In fact, what later became one of the NDC adverts on television. The voices of Kennedy.
And that's the point I'm driving at. That, at the intra contest, there are things that are said that I'm very sure in the sober moments of the members, they will tell themselves, no, wait there, I shouldn't have said it.
Well,
because now my opponent has used it. But back to apathy. To say that our voter apathy caused the loss, and that is that. I mean, what is accounting for the apathy? Your base knows that if they don't show up, you are going to be in trouble. Why did they not? Why would they desert you at the time when you need them the most? So you can't just leave it at, oh, there was voter apathy. Why is there voter apathy? That is dangerous, that your base see no reason to get out of the house and be part of such a keenly contested race where everything is at stake.
The interesting thing is, let's interrogate the numbers. I'm looking at the results from the Electoral Commission's website.
Surely.
And John Mahama got 6.591 million votes, followed by Mahamadou Bawumia at 4.877 million votes. They claim, according to what you said, they claim their voter base didn't turn up, and about 1.2 million didn't.
No, 2 million.
2.1 million, he says.
Million, yeah.
2.1 million.
Yes.
If I recall what
yes,
Balaji says.
According to Alaji.
2.1 million.
Yes.
Didn't show up.
That's what I heard him say yesterday. 2.1 million.
Yes, he said
2.1 million.
2.1 million.
From where?
From the entire
bases.
country, everywhere.
No, it's fascinating. The 2.1 million sounds quite.
I want to know how he came by that number.
Yeah, it sounds
He says
because
he's speaking to data, and it's not because he's a Muslim and not a Christian.
Okay.
But from the fact he has about 2.1 million of the MPP supporters decided not to come and vote. And Mr. Mahama won by over 100,000, he said.
Yes.
Now, he says if the 2.1 million had gone out to vote, it means the MPP would have won.
Which for me is if they had gone out, they didn't want to. That's the whole point. What do you mean if they had gone? You gave them reasons not to. So it's not like they went to the beach.
I think Alaji made the same point. You see, the point Alaji was trying to make was that.
But euphemistically.
Exactly.
It should come.
I think the point Alaji was trying to make is that internally we are all to blame.
Okay.
Let's stop this. This person is a Muslim. This person is chairman. This person is this. Let's stop it. We are all to blame.
Right.
Because this chunk of our voter population deserted us. Why did they desert us? And I think it's an interesting conversation to have if we want to take off the partisan lens and look at it dispassionately, which is actually what the party needs now to be able to march into 2028.
Right.
That let us forget about all those, we didn't win because our flag bearer is a Muslim. That's one of the most ridiculous statements I have heard.
Do you know what?
Because
I hadn't heard that.
it's very...
No, people were attributing that to be the reason.
Serious communicators of the party said that.
Did it rank highly as one of the things that we were talking about? Let me know if
it didn't even come up.
That's what I'm saying. That did it really
that.
feature? No, gentlemen, indulge me. Did it really feature? Yes, there might have been one headline or so, a commentary here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, what real percentage are we going to attribute to the conversations regarding religion? On the scale, I don't know that it featured
I'm glad
that
you are saying
high
on a grand scale of things, because whether we like it or not, also, it's one of the hard conversations that as a country we must have. Whether we like it or not, religion, ethnicity, beyond ethnicity, regional affiliation, those things play a critical role.
Yeah, but it turns out that the 2024 elections, that did not happen. In fact, researchers by Global Info Analytics, for instance, and other groups, they rated religion as very low, that it really
That's
did
what I'm saying,
not play a
that
part.
the undertones
still exists.
The undertones still exist, and we can't pretend.
But in this case,
fine. But in this case, how
isn't
high?
it negligible?
No, in this case, no.
That's
in
the
this
bottom
case,
line.
in the lead up to the elections, we saw the polls, we saw the results of the polls and surveys and all of every other thing, even the Smart Sapon one. In fact, Smart Sapon gave Alaji a commanding lead, right?
Yes, he did.
I thought he said there would be runoff. He put them neck and neck, did he not? To give them 40-something.
No, he said the NPP could win. Yes.
Yeah. Interestingly, Dr. Bawumia referenced Global Info Analytics yesterday.
He mentioned it.
I asked Musa Danko a few weeks, maybe last week, I said, how does it feel? Or the naysayers, he says, we are still here, we are still working.
No, but who says they don't watch the polls? They do.
I mean, at the time that Musa Danko had put out that final poll about presidential numbers, he was lambasted, dressed and undressed, called all kinds of names.
It doesn't matter, but that's for the
yes. And today, those that were bastardizing his results, saying that he had who is he? What has he done today? Today. You are referencing his poll.
Alhaji did not bastardize.
These people should have told people to calm down, to calma, as the Spanish say, calma.
Dennis says he's a lotto forecaster.
Because you see, there's no way, especially if you look at the time that he gave his concession, there's no way he would have conceded without the benefit of the data. And the analysis of the data would have also taken into consideration the exit polls. Well, we don't call it exit polls in our... It would have taken into consideration the benefits of all the polls and results that had been released in the lead up to the election. And so it is not the case that Alhaji did not watch the polls. Candidate Muhammad did not watch the polls. My own party, we watched the polls, the CPP. Everybody watched the polls.
What did you watch the polls for? What was CPP watching the polls for?
You were mentioning any of the polls?
What is your point?
We were calling out to CPP prior to the elections. What do you have for us?
CPP asked you young men and women to come out and join the cause.
Look,
and Nana Ajantwa was always up and down. Where are the young people?
We had a lot of engagement on Sunrise.
You are referencing Nana Ajantwa in your statement?
Yes, she's
the former member of your party. Oh, is she still a member?
She's still a member of the party.
No, you tussled with her. You tussled with her. You tussled with her.
Despite being a flag staffer of the current government. Just checking.
The woman who is in opposition but in government.
Dr. Kwesi Indu was a minister of state in the Kufuor administration. I mean, you see, it is one of the things that we need to, the virtues of governance that we need to learn. The fact that NDC has one doesn't mean that all only NDC people appointees must be NDC.
Do you know what it takes to be a flag
staffer? Wouldn't you be happy if you see...
Sixtus, do you know what it takes to be a flag staffer?
Relax.
They didn't treat her like an egg.
Do you understand?
They were really...
What does it mean to be No, she's an advisor. And she's an advisor in her area of expertise. So the fact that, wouldn't you be happy to see that Alan Kojo Chamaten has been given ambassadorial appointment, for instance? Won't it be some breath of fresh air?
Why not?
Well, it will be.
Why not?
What stops businessman Kennedy Ejapong from taking up an appointment in the Mahama administration?
A lot of things. What stops him? A lot of things.
What stops maybe Bernard Okoboy, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, from being around the health ministry?
So imagine we have a health crisis, and Bernard Okoboy has managed COVID. So if we have a resurgence of COVID, for instance, why would we not be able to fall on Bernard Okoboy as a minister who has managed COVID, I dare say successfully, to come and deal with the situation, help deal with the situation?
Talking about health and COVID, you know what is happening at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Sixtus?
Now, you know, the conversation has gone back to the kinds of qualifications that ministers should have in carrying out their specific roles. A lot of doctors on social media making the analysis about why you need somebody who is conversant in that field, a professional in that space, because I watched that video and I was very disappointed in that interaction. Systematically, we know what happens in our healthcare system. I don't understand this whole show, there are ways to handle things. I didn't like that denigration of the doctor, of the personnel there. Yes, we want to do things in a particular way. We want to be seen to be working. We want to be seen to be making that change. But the change we're seeking in our healthcare sector, listen, if I pull up some stats for you right now, you will weep for our healthcare system. It is in poor shape. And it's not just the rantings or altercations between a minister and a doctor that is going to change those things. We have to go to the... Let me bring my stats. Give me a moment.
Once you pull that up, you see, I have made the argument on one of my platforms that it is not... It was a bad idea, number one, to bring up that incident in the full glare of the cameras. Because once you bring that up, and remember, that's a potential legal battle looming. So once you bring that up, whatever comments you make there could go against the hospital. And it's not just about the doctors who directly handle the case. So the fact that issue came up, you know, in a public interaction between the minister and the doctor, it was a no.
It shouldn't have at all.
It shouldn't have come up at all.
I agree with you.
How about the dismissal of the CEO?
I was trying to get some information, and you know, I want to believe that the CEO's dismissal has nothing to do with the incident, the immediate incident that we are looking at.
That is what the Deputy Minister Suhini, that's what he's saying, the Member of Parliament for Tamale North. He says it is not related to the altercation. That is what he